yesterday I planned to go, but I did not go. तो आज जाना था तो इसलिए मैं चला गया.
कौन सा पार्क गया था भाई?
यही पे नियर पास ही है मेरे घर के पास.
ठीक है. So Afzal, we have one our junior called Sai Kumar.
Yeah. Okay. Hi,
Hi
Sai.
Sai, good evening.
Hi everyone. Good evening.
Yeah.
Sai is a scientist now in Bark,
Oh, that's
in
nice.
Karnataka, near
That's
Bangalore,
good.
place called Chitradurga, Chelakere. So he's
Hmm.
2013 passed out. Sai
Hmm.
Afzal is my batchmate. We were together. Our rooms were almost next to each other.
Yes.
We had a very good 4 year cordial relationship. The way you and Surya, right? Surya.
Yes. I know Surya. Yes.
Surya said he's joining now. It's 100 years.
Sorry.
Surya, we were just talking about you, 100 years. I was just telling Sai that Surya is gonna join and things like that.
Uh, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Sai. So Surya, we
Sai?
have Afzal. Afzal is my batchmate,
Yes,
Muhammad
sir.
Afzal. So
Mhm.
we were together, we were sailing almost same boat. We were preparing for our back papers also together. You remember, Afzal?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. It is another experience. When you go and see it back, it's very frightening. Yeah. Anyway,
Somehow we
it was
sailed.
fun actually. It was fun. So.
Yeah, we just sailed. So anyway, so what we will do is that
Mhm.
we'll take 3-5 minutes initially and introduce ourselves. That
Mhm.
and then so in general, in a nutshell, we'll tell what we have been doing and how our life has been. During the campus and after the campus, how did I choose what I am right now and things like that.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
And then we leave the forum open for what is this called question and answers. So for specific questions like government jobs and all that, Sai you can answer, or abroad, or things like that. MTech or MS. Surya can answer, and core Muhammad, you observe you are there, you'll answer, and some generic questions we all can answer. So.
Yes. Yes.
So I think two.
So all
So
management related questions should be directed to Varun Chand, huh?
yeah. Any- See, even Surya has done his MBA. He's right now in Europe
Oh, that's
somewhere.
good.
Yeah, yeah. So
And do we have to turn on our cameras or?
preferably yes. By the time and let everybody join, and then yeah, they will let them see us.
Okay.
Yeah. So we really had a good time with Afzal. Afzal is one of my very close friends. So the moments we can cherish, with Afzal. The way you and Sai
Yes,
has
sir.
your own moments.
We used to stay next to each other in the final year. Like our rooms were like next to each other in the e hostel. Yeah, but he
Oh,
got
good.
busy.
Yeah, that's
But yeah, we used to study sometimes. Yeah,
yeah. At
like I
least
used
that.
to study sometimes, but Sai used to study almost every day. So
Okay.
So no wonder Sai is a scientist in
yeah,
Bark.
in BSc. Yeah.
Okay. So just a query, Varun, just for my information. So
Yes, sir.
second, I heard that you told me that second and third year both will be joining, right? I mean, current second and
So
third of
what if I
NITC.
understand that, see, there out of 35 people who joined, 10 of them are final year, 10 I think second year, and should be 10 should be third year, something like that.
Okay. Okay. That's nice.
So all set then. So Sai, so what do you do in Bark as a civil engineer?
I think he was dropped out of the meeting. He's probably joining again.
Okay, okay. अफजल मेरे बैकग्राउंड देखा? मैं वीडियो ऑन कर रहा हूँ, देखो देख लो के बाद।
दिखाओ दिखाओ दिखाओ।
हाँ।
ओहो, ये क्या अवार्ड्स रखा है क्या आपने?
अफजल इट्स a virtual background.
ओहो, अच्छा अच्छा, वर्चुअल बैकग्राउंड है, नाइस यार। हाउ डू यू चूज इट? यू कैन चूज दैट फ्रॉम हियर, हाँ?
Yeah, you can choose from there. There's a three dots. Go down. There are three dots available.
हाँ हाँ।
You click it, and then there is something called change background.
It doesn't have for me.
It should be
Uh,
Afzal.
I have turned on captions, add others, in call messages, share screen, report abuse, report a problem. Settings.
it also depends on the like how old your laptop is. I don't have that option on my laptop as well because it's 5 years old.
Oh,
And there's something
oh, so
more than
people are using the big billion days laptop, huh? I mean, 1 month old. Varun?
Me, whatever the laptop is given by office, I'm using it. That's all.
Acha, acha. No, that's okay.
Chandana, you were there. So, Sai, we were just checking how what do you do right now in Bark as a civil engineer?
I mean, I'm involved in construction, basically construction of industries.
Construction of industry, sir. So you are trying to
Yes,
there's something, yeah, there's something which are secret which you cannot reveal. I know.
yes, correct. That's right. Yes, yes.
I got
It
it.
is basically construction of industries, large scale industry we are constructing. That's all.
Varun,
But
my video is audible. Sorry, my video is visible. Let me
yeah, yeah,
forward
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, that's
क्या
good.
बाल कहाँ गया अफजल?
But that I'm also trying to figure out, you know.
पूछो. ठीक है, ठीक है. Chandana, you are there?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Very good evening, Chandana. So we will wait for 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Chandana is the second year, right? Chandana, you are second year class rep,
Yes,
right?
I'm second. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So she's the one who's actually putting effort to coordinate and get do the logistics and all that for today's session.
Oh,
That's great.
sir, it's just a small matter. So we are looking forward to know more about it. And I'm sure that this meet will surely help us.
Yeah, we are also very sure about it. Okay. So the guys, you can take turns to introduce yourself. By the time we can others join in.
I think I think Varun, it's better. It's better.
Uh,
Let us wait for some more time because they should
uh,
also know na, whether they should ask the right questions or not.
no,
Even
not
I.
ourselves. I'm talking about the students, second years and third years, whoever is there.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a good idea. We can do that. Yes, that will be nice.
So that we'll also know about them, what are they, where are which place they are from, and why did they join civil engineering. So what made them to join civil engineering and things like that. So that we'll just have 5 minutes time, and then by the time others can join in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can do that. Yes, we can do that. I
Hi,
can.
Banu. So you can start from Banu. You guys can introduce yourself and So, name, place, year, and what is the reason why you have chosen civil engineering?
That is something.
Asomat, brother, asomat.
That is one question they asked us in the first year, na. So I'm just wondering whether that question, the answer remains the same, or they have got different answers this time. What we gave, no?
Let, let's hear it out.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Banu, go ahead. I think Banu got frozen. So Surya Vamshi, you can start off. Banu is back again. So anyways, so guys, you take turn by yourself, and then you can share your name, the place, year, and the reason for you joining civil engineering. You can go ahead. I think we have to pick up names, maybe. Suryavamshi, you're there? Suryavamshi? SNVK Reddy? Afzal, am I audible?
You are audible, Varun.
Yeah, then. Okay. Chandana, you're there? I think she also got dropped.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So what I
Yes,
was
sir.
just thinking is that you can request your classmates to introduce themselves, so that 5 more minutes we'll wait for others to join, and then by 7, 5, 7, 10 we can start off.
Yes, sir. Shall I start with Anjali? Anjali, can you introduce yourself?
You can start from yourself.
Anjali.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sir. Good evening, guys. This is Chandana from second year, and I'm from Suryapet in Telangana. And if you ask me about why do I take civil engineering, and I don't know, I was little interested before I joined NITC. Now I don't have any idea about it before I join and anything.
Yeah. Good to be honest.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. So you can introduce other friends to introduce themselves. Yeah.
Indulekha? Sir, Indu is here, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi guys, am I audible? Hello,
Yeah, yeah, you are.
Yeah, Indu.
I'm Indulekha. I'm from second. I'm from Thrissur, Kerala, and actually at that time I don't have an interest in civil. I
I think Induleka's network is not good. So Chandana, you can call someone next friend of yours, batch.
Yes, sir. Atulya? Atulya? Hello, Atulya, are you here? I don't know, sir. Um, Anjana AK.
Yes.
Anjana Anjana AK, please introduce yourself and tell why do you join civil engineering and where are you from?
I am Anjana Ike, civil engineering from Kasaragod.
Okay.
I do like civil engineering, so that's why I joined in civil engineering.
Okay. Good. Just 1 minute, Balaji. Why there are a lot of dropping off, joining in, dropping off? What is there any issue with the Google Meet?
No idea, sir.
Sir, no issue with the Google Meet. I think it was because they're just joining with their mobile, then laptop, something like that.
Because a lot of people, I think Anjali, for example, has joined in 3 4 times and dropped off. SVLK Reddy joined, SNVK Reddy joined in 2 3 times and dropped off. So I'm just little, wanted to understand what is it. Fine. So it's now 7:07. We will start off. So yeah, Chandana, you want to start off and we'll take it up from.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, guys. Here we have our first. I would like to introduce Mr. Varanchand Bandramudi. Currently, he is working as a management consultant at Ernst and Young Global Consulting Services. But he worked in many other fields as well. If I go on saying his history, then I would be confused mostly. I know it. So I think it's better that sir introduce, tell your experiences and your advices for us. So what is it? Nothing much.
Thank you. And you can also, okay. Good evening, guys. Very nice meeting you all. I'm very happy to, get in touch with, NIT Calicut present civil engineering students. We were in your position few years back. So I'm a 2001 to 2005 civil engineering batch guy. And then we had an amazing and a fantastic time in the campus. Amazing. Those moments never before, ever after. There is a saying, things like that. So it was an amazing time which we had in civil engineering. So during one of the interactions, like with Chandana, Induleka, and some of your classmates or batchmates or seniors or juniors, so they have requested saying that, sir, right now Corona thing is happening. So the placements are not as what you call that, as great as it was before, or you know or people say that civil engineering, not companies open up for placements, or a lot of people are wants to have more clarity on about their career. So that is where Chandana has reached out to us saying that we need your how did you guys have handled it, because in our batch also, so there was immediately when we joined, it was 2001. That is where after that, if you are aware, there's a 2000, there's a huge depression or a huge recession for jobs. So Y2K, they call it Y2K problem. So we also had those similar situations. Right now, you have Corona situation. We had some other situation during that time, and things like that. So, so Chandana was saying that Chandana Induleka was also asking. I had interacted, and a couple of other classmates of yours have interacted. and they have suggested us we wanted some clarity. So then that's the reason we will have a next 30 to 40 minutes. We will discuss and and would like to interact with each one of you. So the method, so the next 10 minutes, what would we, so right now with me, I have my classmate, Muhammad Afzal. So he's also 2001, 2005 passed out. And we have Surya Roshi, and we have Sai Kumar. Surya is working in Europe, and Sai is working as a scientist in BARC, Ministry of Atomic Energy. So we will introduce ourselves one by one, and then in after 10 minutes, the floor will be open to all of you. And any question, any clarification you guys would like to have, you can shoot the questions to any one of us. We would love to answer to you. So the next 40 minutes, the time is yours. You please make sure that you use this next 40 minutes the best. Start with Afzal. Afzal, you go ahead and introduce Afzal. Then Sahil, and I will introduce at the last. Yeah.
Yeah, hi, thanks, Varun, and good evening, everybody. And right, like Varun just introduced, I am Mohammad Afzal Ahmed, and I also joined an ITC REC. I joined REC, in 2001, and then it became NIT, and then we passed out in 2005. And yes, like what Varun just mentioned, it was very tough for all of us actually. In fact, our senior batch and batches after, and our batch also, the placements were not that great. So maybe I don't know, like this kind of a situation, or it was bad, or this is bad. I mean, I cannot compare that exactly, but obviously, at that time, being a student, it was very difficult. It was very difficult. So of course, the biggest savior was the IT industry, for our batch. But of course, still, some people like me and other 5 to 6 people I know, that they are still in the civil engineering field. I'll just give a brief introduction about myself. So after leaving 2000, after leaving the college in 2005, I joined a construction company. Total Environment Building Systems. If you are aware, it is in Bangalore. It's right now, it's a big company. So after that, then I found out, then maybe, it's not a good job, because I wanted a design job, design specific job. It had design plus construction both, but I wanted core design. So then I shifted to oil and gas. I joined Triune Energy Services, which was Saipem Triune that time in Delhi. So in there I worked for 6 years, and it was a typical oil and gas company. So I am working as I was working. I joined, in fact, as a underground piping engineer. Okay, underground piping is part of civil engineering only, and so that design I had joined. And after that, I spent 6 years there, and then I moved to another company called Petrofac, that I could spend around 2 years. And right now, I'm working in McDermott Engineering. Okay, it's a global MNC, and now I'm based in Gurgaon. So my profile, current profile, I just give a brief about my profile, because I was given the idea that maybe you guys want to know more about what are the job prospects in the civil engineering. So right now I'm UG lead, underground piping lead, from the last 5 to 6 years, and we handle projects from all around the world. Actually, our company handles. So we get a chance to work with Saudi Aramco. I mean, biggest companies in the world. So there are it is taken care multidisciplinary approach. So in that I work in the CSA department, civil department. Okay, and other than the work front, I'll just give a brief intro. I wrote a book also, a small book, in 2010, which is titled Strut and Tie Model for Beginners. So after that, I didn't get time to get a second edition out. So this is it, and what I can give a brief introduction about civil, that don't be disheartened. Civil engineering has a lot of avenues. In fact, civil and mechanical, what we found out, are the best departments, are the best streams, to study, because being a civil engineer, you can work in. See, I'm working in underground piping, and I met one of our super seniors. She Soma Chakravarti. She was 97 pass out. Okay, 97 pass out, and she was there with my previous company, and she was entirely working in the mechanical field. even though she was a civil engineer, but still she was working in the mechanical field because when she passed out, there were no much design jobs, and being a lady, it was very difficult for her to be part of the construction industry or that kind of a profile. So she did some course in piping, and then she shifted, and she's at a very good position right now. So not in civil, believe me, and used to regular have fight with her, all those things, work related. So it was very interesting. So this is it actually, and I'm really looking forward to the questions which you guys will ask, and looking forward to at least try and answer your questions today. Thank you.
Thanks, Afzal. I didn't know that you wrote a book. Cool, huh? You should post it somewhere to take it up.
Yeah,
Thanks, Afzal.
yeah, sure. We'll talk on that. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Surya, it's over to you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Santosh Srinivas Suryateja. I graduated from NIT Calicut in 2013. After that, I worked for Milap as a Milap fellow for 6 months in Odisha. I was in a very rural area. I was studying the impact of the microloans that Milap had given in that region for 6 months. And then I worked for IDBI Bank for like 1 year. And then I moved to France, more like Europe, because I studied in France, Germany, and UK for my master's in management. I specialized in business consulting and creativity marketing. And then I moved to Norway just 1 year back for a full-time position. I joined a tech startup called Xeneta in Oslo. I work as a junior data analyst. Xeneta benchmarks global freight markets, and it provides data analytics and market intelligence related products. So my job is basically to aggregate this data, structure it, clean it, and then import and analyze in our product, so that it becomes a source for data and market intelligence for our clients. And if you have any doubts related to pursuing higher education outside of India, and especially in management fields or inside India, within India related to management fields, I can provide you some advice or guidance.
Thank you, Santosh Srinivas Surya. So, and then we have Sai Kumar with us. I just came to know actually when I was talking to Sai, I got this number from some other friend, and it was surprising that Surya and Sai were batchmates. So I was very happy, like me and Afzal were batchmates. There's a very good relation with the batchmates. So over to Sai, and you can, you can introduce yourself and share your, hardcore feelings for civil engineering. I was told that you're a hardcore fan of civil engineering. So please go ahead, Sai.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sai Kumar. I joined NIT Calicut in 2009 and passed out in 2013. Later, I took 1 year training for preparation for government jobs. Then I joined BRC in 2014. Right now, I'm posted in Karnataka. I would like to give a brief background of government jobs, basically for civil engineering in India. You can categorize government jobs in 4 categories. First category is conducted by UPSC. It's basically engineering service examination and SSC. And the second category is scientific organizations. They are BRC, ISRO, and DRDO. BRC recruits through GATE. ISRO has a separate exam, and after which there is an interview. And DRDO also has a different process for joining. And the third category is public sector units. Public sector units like IOCL, ONGC, these recruit through GATE and interview. And the fourth category is state government jobs. And this how to prepare details and all, you can find out. Then as a rough statistics, I'll give you, yearly around 1 lakh civil graduates pass out every year in India. And total number of government jobs in India for in central government is around 1,000 maximum. In every year it changes. Maximum it is around 1,000 posts in central government. And if you consider state governments also, it max out at 2,000 to 3,000. That's what every year 1 lakh graduates come out, and there are only around 2,000 central government jobs, and the rest are in government, the private sector itself. And regarding how to prepare for the government jobs, if anybody wants to join government job, I would advise them to start their preparation at least from second year or from third year. As soon as every semester gets completed, whatever, suppose in second semester this solid mechanics is completed, means you can start preparing the old question papers of the different examinations. By that, in this way, by the time you can pass out of fourth year, you will be ready for writing various government examinations. Then along with that, you have to prepare for aptitude, reasoning, and current affairs, because now most of the government jobs are asking this additional paper will be there for aptitude and reasoning. That also you need to start preparing. And by the time, if you are following these two, then by the time you are graduating, you can prefer, you will get qualified mostly. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Sai. Sai works in Baba Atomic Research Center under the Ministry of Atomic Energy. He's been a very studious guy, and he has cracked it. So thank you, Sai. So coming to myself, I'm a 2001, as I told you, 2001 to 2005 passed out from. I'm from Andhra, so I actually joined as a BArch student, as something like architectural engineering at that time, when we, as Afzal was telling me, it's an REC. So I was thinking that I will be teaching more about construction or structural design and all that, but it is more of a designing than engineering. So then I got an opportunity to come to civil and production, so I chose civil. So I liked civil, I chose civil, and then the 4 years of civil was amazing. It has taught me so many things. It made me actually a better guy. So I've been fascinated with civil engineering from the beginning. And not only that, I got to go through a lot of responsibilities in terms of even management. I was a CR for some time, or I was association. I was a very active person in the association, and then finally I was made the placement representative. And then we had a very good time at that time. Through campus placements, I got placed in Simplex. So I was posted in JNPT Mumbai, wherein I was asked to drill seabeds in Mumbai. So that job was very interesting, but it's very, very, very grilling. Sort of, you need to work 12 hours a day, and then plus 2-3 hours. Traveling. So it's about 15 hours a day, things like that. So I wanted, So during civil engineering itself, I thought I should do my master's in management than master's in civil engineering, because I found out that it's called sort of self-discovery or something. I found out that for me, management would be better than better suited for me as a career than engineering as such. So I wrote GATE. I would have got into one of the IISc's third year itself. I wrote GATE, but I chose to take up management. So through campus placements, blah blah, I got into Simplex. Then Simplex, I worked there for a couple of months, and then I moved to Bangalore. Then I worked in a company called ND Developers in Bangalore. Then I was heading some projects there. And then after that, I got an opportunity to go to Dubai and work. So what I have learned in Simplex and ND Developers in Bangalore is more of an execution. So I was shifting to a new role when I went to Dubai. It was into project planning. So that's more of management oriented roles. That's the reason I have taken it, because I have seen mandate or agenda saying that 2005 I've passed out, 2008 I need to get into an MBA. So I had my roadmap planned. So that's where is I moved to a management role and to see how management, to be taken care in terms of execution of the projects. So there I was handling about 3 projects. Burj Khalifa was, I'm not actually directly handling Burj Khalifa, the world tallest tower, but it's a 1 square kilometer development, and there is something called Old City, the next project to Burj Khalifa. So it's part of EMAR developers only in Dubai. So I was part of there, and then a lot of good experience I had in Dubai. So in about 1.5 years stint there, I was handling about 1,000 crores worth projects back in 2006-7. Then I came back to India thinking that I will write CAT and then get into MBA. So I came here, took about 6 to 8 months break, and then I didn't get through. So I got into Symbiosis. I couldn't get into big schools. So Symbiosis, I didn't like. I didn't want to compromise myself with Symbiosis. Then through some of my contacts, through of course NIT Calicut contacts, I got into referral. The guy was referred to L&T. So that's an oil and gas company wherein they design oil and gas platforms, both floating and fixed platforms. And I was recruited as a planning engineer, senior planning engineer there. So in L&T, I was working there for a year and a half, and then I got into IIM Lucknow and IIM Kozhikode. So I actually, during the 4 year stay in Kozhikode, I fell in love with Kozhikode. That's my second home. So I have chosen Kozhikode than Lucknow, even though Lucknow has a better rating as an IIM than Kozhikode. But still, I chose Kozhikode because I came to know about MBA in the first year of my engineering, wherein we are in the main block, third floor, 301 or 302. So at that time, IIM campus was not ready. So next to my class was IIM class. So I used to see during the breaks, a lot of 40-year-old people sitting on parapet walls and then smoking. And I was just wondering, what are these guys doing? Then over the period of time, I came to know that, okay, this is an IIM. So this is one of the best B schools in terms of management. So then I was thinking, yes, I should get into it. So that's the reason. That's what the seed which is planted in me in first year of engineering, which I could realize after 8 years of 4 years of civil engineering, plus 4 years after civil engineering, 8 years, I came back to Kozhikode as an MBA grad. And then after 2 years of MBA, then I got placed in a company called Hewlett Packard, HP. So they told me it is more of an, strategy consulting. So I joined HP, then I was there for 6 years. Then I was not satisfied. I was not happy with the type of roles, because IT was not actually my thing. So in many 6 years in between, I had 3 startups. The last startup is more of a civil engineering, because my heart still always be with civil engineering. So we had a P2P. We have a e-commerce website, or we have e-commerce based business platform which we have developed with 1 or 2 more partners which I had. And then we were offering P2P services, Pujari to Pujari services. Pujari to for groundbreaking ceremony to start any house, to Pujari to the housewarming ceremony. So any architect it's required, any interior designer, any contractor, any electrician, painter, plumber, you name it, all the services. Even a Vastu guy was there on our platform. So we were doing a business of, we had done a business of about 1.5 crores in a year and a half. And then for some personal reasons, I had to come out of it. So parallelly, I was also working, and then when I felt that I should get back to my own the areas where I liked it. So then I got into a company called Resurgent India, who are serving Ministry of Shipping, Kandla, Gujarat, wherein I was responsible for strategizing and doing the financial modeling and for PPP projects. So, for example, if they want to construct a port, so is it economically viable? Then there is a team for technically viability, whether the enough draft is there or not, enough depth is there or not, is that location suitable for it or not. Of course, it's a part of in third year, I think we will be learning that port engineering or something. So technical team will be there, but I was looking more into strategy and is it financially viable or not? Is it strategy wise? Is there enough demand? If you build a port there, uh, is that financially is it profitable, or what is the amount of traffic is going to be coming in the next few years? So based on that, I was designing and things like that, and from there I moved to Bangalore. So in Gujarat, I was working with Ministry of Shipping, Government of India. In Bangalore, I got to work for the very pet project of Chief Minister of Karnataka, wherein he wanted to set up an industrial cluster. So set up an industrial city in a particular district for 6 districts of Karnataka, and the target was given to have about 1 lakh employment in every district with about 5,000 crores of investment. So I've been working there, and then I also got an opportunity to work to have a state level digital transformation to bring more business into the state. And then now I'm planning to move on to the new job in January to Vijayawada, to again with to market state of Andhra as in very good investment state, and develop the whole infrastructure in terms of industrialization into the state. So that's a story of mine. Thank you all. So now we'll open the floor. Now the floor is open to any one of you to ask questions. Yeah. So who's going to be the first?
Hello everybody. So I'm Arjun. I'm currently doing my final year at NIT Calicut for Swift, and right now, like I'm studying for GATE, but at the same time, I also want to do MS abroad, MS higher studies, or I also want to work in the field. So right now, due to the Corona situation, like, I'm very reluctant to apply in universities abroad because last year many of my seniors couldn't go. So uh, I have this like doubt, like should I work in a company for like a few years, then go for higher studies, or first go for an MS or an MTech, then go for a job? Which would be better? That is my question. So it's yes. So
Surya, you want to take it? Then Afzal, you can also add on it.
Yes, Varun sir, I can take
Yeah.
it. Uh, I mean, when I was in my BTech, I sort of had a similar question. I was not sure if I should go for a master's immediately after my BTech, or if I should go after working for a couple of years. So I prepared for GMAT and the GRE when I was in third and fourth year, and then I applied to colleges. I got through a business school when I was in my fourth year, but then I couldn't go because of some financial constraints. And then I applied to the same school 2 years later after working for some time, and then I went there. So that it didn't really make much of a difference for like 1 or 2 years, but I would strongly suggest that you should work first for at least 2 years before going abroad for your higher studies, because one, it clarifies to you if it's the field that you really want to work on. For instance, if you after your BTech you do an MTech in civil engineering or some specialized field, and then after doing your MTech, then you realize this is not that you wanted to do, and then you want to pursue something else, then it's like really going to be a tough period for you. So even before you jump into something, it's always better to work there and see if it really suits you, if it interests you, and then go abroad for your higher education. That would be my suggestion. And also while working, it's also important that you sort of build your network. You get to know how to transition from university to work, and that will be a lot of value like when you move abroad, because it becomes more easier for you to adjust to the change in the work culture and find employment opportunities. And thirdly, also when you go abroad, it's really competitive when you're competing with several students from the local region, or say from other countries. And at this point of time, when you have some prior experience that adds value to your resume, it's going to be very helpful for you to land an internship and then have an employment opportunity. And just to make it more clear to you, you don't really have campus placements outside of India. It's like really rare. You always have to be on your toes. You have to be networking with your seniors or people in your area or in the field of interest, and then you have to apply directly to companies. So if from all these perspectives, it's always advisable that you work for at least 1 or 2 years before you go for a master's.
Yeah, Afzal.
So, thank you, sir.
Arjun, wait a minute. Afzal also will answer.
Yeah.
I think he's muted. Afzal, sir.
Oh, sorry. So you are Sai, right? I forgot your name.
Sorry, me,
Yeah.
Santosh or
Sorry.
Surya.
Surya. Yeah, as Surya rightly mentioned, I would also agree with Surya, that yeah, it's always a good idea, to directly go and it looks tempting to go and after just BTech, you do MTech or masters. But yes, practically it's always advisable that you should work first, somewhere. If you land up a good job, see, I know the condition what's going on, but if you can secure a good job, I mean, at least of your choice, or maybe near to your choice, then maybe it's better to 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 3 years, whatever that you can decide. So based on that, then you'll have a better understanding whether really, and that's a very important point, that you need to know exactly where do you want to do. Because I mean, at the age of 20, 21, I mean, it's very, you don't, I mean, sometimes you make a wrong decision, in choosing the courses and all. So it's very important. So once you work for some time, then you will exactly know which one to choose, which one not to choose. So I would also go with that only, personally.
Yeah, and I have one more point to add. Because of this COVID crisis, there is a lot of uncertainty regarding recruitment, and also about your travel plans and visa restrictions. Normally, work visas and student visas don't really have a problem during this point of time, but still, like I've seen many people. I mean, we have Facebook groups for people in our respective countries. So I'm part of a couple of Facebook groups because I studied in different countries. So everywhere I've seen this problem quite often, that people who are applying for student visas are being rejected from being given the visas, mainly because of the COVID crisis or some other issues. And secondly, you don't know if you'll be able to fly in time to attend your classes on your campus. That's one uncertainty. And more importantly, many of the companies have freezed their hiring process, at least for a couple of months. Now it's picking up, but we're still not sure when it's going to be scaled back to pre-COVID levels. So because of this uncertainty, it's always preferable to wait for at least 1 year before you plan for your higher education outside of India.
Yeah. So, in case, for example, if I got an opportunity to get into a campus, could be school or good university in abroad, and then I don't have an experience. So, in that case, what should be done?
I mean, is it because of the COVID crisis you're asking, sir?
Yeah. For example, I didn't land up any job, or I don't have any job in hand, but I got an opportunity to go ahead and do a master's in the areas where I'm interested, or I got into. So, in that
Yeah.
scenario, what can be done?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the person's perspective or his appetite for risk, because I still can say that it's a little risky to go for higher education now, especially if you're taking a lot of student loans like I did. I mean, for me, it was really a very tough journey. I moved to Paris in 2015, and then I did my master's from 2015 to 2017. And in most of the European countries, you also have this requirement to complete your internships, roughly amounting to 40, 50 weeks. That's around 6 to 8 months. And this helped me a bit because even though it was really hard to land a job, I could take up some internships. But now it's not the case even for internships. Even getting an internship was like really hard over the last couple of months because of the COVID crisis. So if you're able to take some risk and you don't really have to depend a lot on education loans, then you can definitely go. But if you have to take some education loan, then you have to prepare for the worst case scenario so that you don't really create a lot of problems for yourself and for your family.
Got it. Thanks, Surya.
Yeah,
So,
it depends on the how much risk he can take and how perseverant he can be. I've seen like many people like they wait for like a couple of months after their masters and go back.
yeah, I also understand what you're saying. So, is that okay, Arjun?
Yes, sir. Thanks to all the three stars for this advice. It's a great help because I'm like very doubtful about what to do. So thank you, and thanks for this discussion, panel discussion too. The people who organized it. Thank you.
We still have some more time, Arjun. Yeah. Got it. Really, thank you. So, who's going to ask next? Guys, come on. So, everybody is clear?
Sir,
Good evening.
yeah,
Hello.
Pranita, continue, Pranita.
Good evening, sir. I'm Pranita, currently second year civil engineering.
Good evening.
Um, Sir, why do you choose management studies after civil engineering? Is there any relation between civil engineering and management studies?
Varun, sir, do you want to take it? Yeah, I can start as
Yeah, I will also add on it. Go ahead.
well. I mean, I had some personal reasons. The thing was, I never really thought of studying engineering in the first place. I was preparing for medical school during my 11th and 12th, and somehow I couldn't really make it to a government medical school. And then at the same time, I also got into NIT Calicut, and I thought I didn't. I already dropped 1 year back then, so I didn't want to drop one more year. So I thought I should take up this opportunity, and I joined NIT Calicut. And when I joined, I had chemical engineering, and that was more the field I wanted to do. But then in sliding, I also got civil engineering, and my some of my relatives and my family insisted that maybe I could choose civil engineering because you have more opportunities to work in infrastructure projects. So then I moved to civil engineering, but somehow over the 4 years of my education, I couldn't really feel myself or see myself working in civil engineering in the future. At the same time, I sort of got attracted more towards management fields. It's partly because I was leading IST. I was the chairman of IST, and I was also an executive before that during my BTech days. And I was more interested towards planning things, leading people, managing resources, these sort of topics. And I slowly explored how if a career in business or management would suit me, and that was more like a gut instinct that that would suit me more than engineering. And so that's how I moved towards management. And regarding your question, if there is a relation between management and civil engineering, you definitely can work in industries related to civil engineering or infrastructure where you really need to work on your management skills or management expertise for the projects, like Varun sir did. Maybe Varun sir can add more to that part.
Yeah, so I will take it on from there. Thanks, Surya. Yes, there is the relationship between civil engineering and management. So as I told you, it's sort of nirvana for me saying that okay, what are my good skills? Where am I good at? Where am I will do better? I could found out during my engineering. So engineering 4 years is a very wonderful transition phase for me from a boy was thinking that okay, engineering means chill. We came to know about engineering through movies saying that you can come in anytime, you can go in anytime, you can walk in from the front door, you can walk out from the back door. So with that view, I came in and I understood, wow, this is completely different. You have to be in the class by 8 o'clock in the morning. You have about 70 to 80% compulsory attendance. So from there to a very matured guy in the final year. So a lot of transition has happened, within myself and things like that. So in those lines, I also realized saying that I'm not so good at calculations. So, for example, even I was struggling, to even come out of the structural engineering, or even Amin sir was a a scary class for me. I mean, I have great sir. One of my favorite sir. He's so sincere, but the subject he takes it is quite high. It's going beyond my head. So then so then I really then when I compared myself with other subjects, for example, one of my favorite subject is construction management. Sudha Kumar sir, right? Afzal, it was Sudha Kumar sir, right?
Yes, yes, and building technology. Yes, building technology,
Building
construction management.
technology. Yeah, building technology was a favorite subject. Even during interview, they asked me what is your favorite subject. I told BT, building technology. So that was my favorite subject. And then when I passed out, when I got placed in Simplex, I saw Simplex was one of the best companies, but when you see the working hours or the working methodology or the working style, you have to work for 12 hours. 8 to 8 was a shift. 1 week day shift, 1 week night shift. And when you shift, then when the shift ends, you have to hand over the shift to the next guy. So that handover used to take for half an hour, 45 minutes. And then it's a cab where they used to take from the construction site to the place where they put us engineers up. So there, what do you call that? That will take about half an hour to 45 minutes. So when the shift ends, we used to reach the room by 9:30, 10. So again, morning 6:30, they used to pick us up and then go. That was a scenario when I was working in Mumbai in Simplex. And then I realized that okay, I'm now okay. I'm right. I was just thinking that okay, if I'm a junior right now, just a graduate engineering trainee, okay. When I little grow up in my career ladder, okay, I would be better, become better. But I realized that the project manager, the in charge of the project, is even working much more hours than what I was working. So I was just imagining myself, if I go in this line of project manager, he should be about 16 hours. He should be on site. So I couldn't take that because there was no work-life balance there. Then I came to Bangalore, and there it's okay. That's also 9 to 5. But even when I was in Dubai, that's also about 12 hours work shift. The shift starts from 7 to 7. So the cab used to pick us up in the morning at 5:45. Imagine you get up to office at 5:45 in the morning and you reach office at 7, you work at 7 in the evening, and then of course there was challenging. It's like you're transforming desert. The work was very challenging. But work life balance was not there. And then the third thing, I was working in L&T world. That's actually very design firm. That's actually 10 to 6, 10 to 7 job. So I felt those sort of jobs are more good, and then you are in the core and things like that. Right now Afzal, the way he is working, because of corona, actually he's working from home also. But otherwise, as a civil engineer, building, can he build a house working from home?
So no, Varun, if you don't mind, I just want to
Yeah,
add on what you just told. Na? I mean, yeah, I could, what you just mentioned regarding Mumbai, your experience of Mumbai, I'm quite aware. I remember we had a talk 15 years back also. And in fact, with Atanu also, you must be remembering that he
yeah.
had a tough time too. He was posted somewhere in Tamil Nadu with Simplex only. It's a big company, though. And in fact, I was also part of the construction industry. But at least, the good thing was I was in Bangalore and the site was also in Bangalore, near Cambridge. I don't remember that. Ulsur Lake, somewhere there. I forgot that name. And yeah, there itself, some TBS wings posted there. So what happened, what I saw, actually it is more about, I would not, I would like to motivate the civil engineering, students here by saying that try to get into a MNC, even if you're working in the construction industry, because see, there is a difference between Indian MNCs. I'm talking especially about civil engineering companies. Huh? I'm not talking about other field companies. I'm talking about civil engineering related companies. core engineering, which they call. So try to get into, I mean, MNCs, proper global MNCs. Because if you get into Indian MNCs, even though they are MNCs, but still they will be Indian, like Varun just mentioned, those kind of non-ethical, and they'll make you work more, slog more, and they'll not pay you accordingly, So it will be very bad. It will be very bad because for me also that 1 year was very tough, And then somehow, luckily, I applied and I got into oil and gas, and it was very easy that time because that time the market was quite open, not like now. It was quite open, so I could make a transition, after 1.5 years I could make a transition from construction, real estate, infrastructure job to oil and gas design, so if you get into those kind of companies, because the south also, basically right now what I can suggest, that North India has more companies than South in oil and gas, because a lot of companies have closed and they have tapered down. So these kind of companies, they work like there is no difference between these companies and corporate IT companies. There's no exactly no difference except the work which you are doing. Except the work which you are doing, and I'll just give a brief on that, because like Varun just mentioned regarding L&T Valdel. So yes, it has done it does projects in offshore engineering. And Varun, for your information, I visited Bombay High also. You know, Bombay High and all those Hira and Neelam platforms. There are a lot of platforms from of India, ONGC platforms. So I had a chance to visit those platforms from my companies. I think around 10 years back or something, 10, 12 years back, I could visit, and it was a very nice experience. And because if you get into a proper design job, then I think whatever you have studied, I will not say that everything will be utilized. In fact, maybe you'll just feel from the on the first day that whatever you studied, nothing is being utilized here. But yes, it will be applicable in some or the other way. It will be applicable. Maybe you'll not be using it directly, but you will be using it differently. So it will help you out there. And yes, regarding MBA and all, of course, like just Surya also just mentioned, if you're going after certain areas of experience, it actually doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter if you have decided that you will go for higher studies, masters, MTech, or MBA, GMAT, GRE, whatever, or in India also, getting any sort of experience will help you, because at least first one, you will know the technical bits, whatever field. Suppose you're working in a civil engineering company, you will know how the company works. Any company, small or big, will have a system of working. Okay, so you can learn that, because obviously you're going to apply that somewhere, it will be used. And if you suppose if you get into an IT company, or some kind of a design company, then it will be much better for you, because you'll be paid well, and obviously you will get time for yourself for preparing and studying, and for resting, and and for relaxing and all those things, because that is also very important. So when you move to the management or master's degrees and all, no, it will be very helpful for you, because these experiences will be used there. Because once you start getting seeing the things from top, no? Because when you go to the management, maybe you get elevated to 3 positions or 4 positions, whatever. So then you can see what's going on, so that's why I think, I mean, for the second year and third year, I don't know, maybe you have done that brick experiment or not till now, because that was very haunting, English bond and all those things. I got that in my practical exam. I know myself how I cleared that. It was very tough. I was thinking that time that, as a civil design engineer, what I'm going to do, will I really be going and checking the tube strength on the site? No, you don't do that, you don't touch it actually as an engineer. But how do you make sure that the guy who is doing it rightly? Right, the mixture what you prepare in that lab, na, the material lab, 1:2, and there's workability, and this M20, M30, M25, M40, grade of cement, concrete, and all those things. It really matters when you actually design it, and when you go and check it or you inspect it, because then only you can catch the differences, what he's trying to fool you, or maybe they're not using the right materials and all. So that time it will be used, because that time in college we'll be thinking, okay, I mean, I don't know who has designed the syllabus, and this is very obsolete, and we should not have been doing it. I don't know why I'm doing this and all those things. But it was very helpful, because I could see it myself, after 1.5 years or 2 years, everything started coming to me. Okay, this was due to this,
So,
this was due to
Abdul, so continuing on that, so I have the
yeah.
same question to Santosh. Thampi sir. Thampi sir is still there, right? Santosh Thampi sir?
That's an interesting question.
I think he is there. He is the one who actually gave me recommendation for my masters.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I
That's
spoke to him
nice.
a couple
Yeah.
of years back as well,
So
and he
before
was
leaving, I think before saying goodbye, the last day, we asked him, sir, you have almost made us study 64 courses, 64 subjects, including labs. And
Yes.
then why you made us to do all that? The answer he gave was very, inspiring or satisfactory for me, because he said, we don't know where you guys are going. Civil engineering is so vast that we don't know where we land up. You may enter into designing bridges or irrigation projects, or into designing pipelines, piping. You may be in airports, or you may be in roads. You may be building the structures. So we don't know. So we want you guys to make sure that anywhere you go, you have at least basic understanding of what you guys are doing, and be ready for it. So coming back to the question where I was, what made me to get into MBA is that, I have understood that, it's, if you are getting into civil engineering and that side, you always have to spend more hours, and then the top notch get more money than a civil engineer, and or in the initial years, the struggle will be quite high for a civil engineer. So and then so what made me to land up is that, okay, in management, so there also I had crossroads. I was in crossroads wherein, should I do a construction management, or should I do a pure uh, management? So should I get into NICMAR and do a construction management course, or should I get into pure MBA? So then later I understood, saying that construction management also will, anyway you're doing managements, anyway you have to invest 2 years of time, anyway you have to invest X amount of money. So why I should limited myself only to a construction management? So if I do construction management, my scope only will be limited to civil engineering. If I do general management, civil engineer can be part of my horizon. So that's the reason where I chose, okay, let me do an MBA. So that's what it made me to realize. The second thing is that there is a lot of money in civil engineering as well. For example, I was working in IT, as I told you, coming back from Mumbai, from Simplex, I joined a company called ND Developers. So herein, wherein the MD is also an engineer or a contractor, whatever it is. So he has built one big apartment with about 1,000 or 500 units, wherein the basic site engineer is also civil engineer only. So civil engineer gets about 20, 25,000, 30,000 rupees of money, wherein the owner has is minting huge amount of money. So you can utilize civil engineering by becoming an entrepreneur. There's a guy called Ranif Siraj. He's still in Calicut, my batchmate. Afzal, you remember Ranif, right?
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
He builds villas, and I think he's quite well settled in Calicut itself. So I'm very happy if if anybody has got a very good passion in civil engineering, then you should get into it. First few years you should invest your time and learning it, and after that you should walk towards or plan towards your own organization or building things, and it's always in a very bright future. I hope I answered the question, and we'll have
yeah.
one. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, sir. I mean, yeah, I have a couple of more points to add there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, many students at this point of time, when you're in your first or second or third years of engineering, you have this wrong notion that, studying MBA or management field after engineering is really going to be a very good combination, and then it'll add a lot of value to your career, or you earn a lot of money. But I would say that notion is like not correct, and you in fact have a lot of very good opportunities even if you study engineering for your masters and move into those fields, be it computer science. Of course, like now computer science, with all the developments in artificial intelligence and machine learning, they have a lot more opportunities, and other fields, they're not far behind as well. Even in civil engineering, you have really good opportunities at master's level and beyond that when you study them. So yeah, don't have this notion that, to really earn well and settle well, you should study MBA or management. That's not true.
Yeah. Thank you, Surya. Now I have a question
Hello.
to our Sai.
Hello.
Sai, what is your experience as civil engineering in in BARC? In the sense, what type of work do you do? How is it? High tech work, or what type of things opportunities you can get in when you get into organizations like this. Sai, you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah, please.
Uh, it's basically there are in scientific organizations, there are two parts. One is the design, other is the execution part. I'm basically in execution. In this in scientific organization like NPCL or BRC, they construct industries which are, I think these industries, the industries which are constructed by BARC or NPCL or any this little bit in narrow scientific organizations, they are well known in terms of their safety or design standards, or and they are some of the what should I say, some of the critical and best designed. That's what I want to say. And in other field is design also. Design in very few organizations does their own design. In out of that, BARC is one of them, and NPCL also does their own design. That's what.
So, Sai, you are saying that you are part of industrial design.
Construction. Yes.
Nuclear power plants is what you're going to build, is what you're saying?
Yes.
So, you are part of executing, developing, and constructing nuclear power plants. That means it should be a very high tech, when a power plant is designed,
Yes.
for about 50 to 100 years. So, the amount of accuracy, the amount of, what is this called? What do you call it?
Safety.
Control, QC, all those things will be.
Yes, safety control.
So how was your experience in implementing, doing all that? Is it practically possible, or what type of care or things you can do as a student? How is that, or what courses, what we study is help us to get into that?
Almost whatever courses they teach in basically in NIT Calcutta, almost 90% of the courses will be helpful for you if you are doing in core civil engineering. Like construction management will help you in managing the site and all. Then building technology will help you in quality control, how it has to be done. Then if you are a site engineer, suppose some design has to be changed in the site, then if you are good in design field, then we can make modifications like that. Almost all the surveying, initial setting up of the site, these things are, except fluid mechanics or certain other subjects, almost all the subjects they teach in Calicut, they will be helpful for you. And in especially in nuclear field, where there are different, you have to work with different branches or different types of professionals like mechanical, chemical, instrumentation, electrical, electronics. These things and all, how you have to coordinate with them, how you have to have at least little bit of expertise in other fields also, so that you will be able to better execute this one.
Okay.
In fact, I would just like to add regarding the fluid mechanics. So, fluid mechanics is very well used in my field, oil and gas. So it's a must. The knowledge of fluid engineering is a must actually. So I was lucky that in my college at least I had chosen some electives, and we were kind of good in that. And in fact, Mr. Thampi only taught us those subjects. So it was very nice, and it is quite helpful. That's what we do for a living here with fluid mechanics.
Thampi sir initially was a nightmare for me. Then after that, okay, I got along with him, and finally it was nice.
Yes. Just one more thing, Varun.
Afzal, 1 minute. To add on what Afzal is saying, Afzal is working in oil and gas and refining industry, but his core is still with civil engineering. He still designs pipelines as a part of his civil engineering. So,
yes, exactly. It is very well part of civil engineering, and in fact, what I can say is, in my 15 years of experience, I've not done something other than civil engineering. Everything is within the civil engineering, because, like, in fact, Varun, I think you were mentioning, right, regarding the scope of civil engineering. It is actually very huge, very huge. You can fit in any industry. So see, for oil and gas industry, if I can say, it is a field for chemical engineers, basically. The chemical engineers, they will conceive the plant, on paper they will conceive it, what kind of fluid, and everything, it is conceived by the chemical engineers. It is executed by mechanical, civil, instrumentation, and electrical, and every other engineering discipline. So even though the field is not core civil engineering, but yes, you are part of that by executing it, because you help the department. Because as a chemical engineer, he cannot design the pipes, he cannot design the buildings, he cannot design the structures, he cannot design the foundations, right? So these supporting disciplines, because even if it is automobile industry, still you fit in as a civil engineer there. So any field, you're part of that industry. So I think it is very well useful. It depends where you just land up actually.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah, Varun, I was just saying, actually we got a chat also, I think we missed out. Surya
we'll
Vam,
Yes,
take
yes,
that.
sir. We have a chat. We have a
Surya
chat
Vamsi.
question.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, sir.
What makes
What?
the
Sorry,
yeah, Chandra, you
sir.
can proceed.
Yeah, sir. What makes the interviewer to select in placements by seeing the CGPA or how many courses he learned in civil engineering?
So I think I can answer that. Yes, of course they will see your CGPA while during the interview process. They will see, because based on that only they will shortlist you. And of course, during the interview only they will ask for your favorite subject, which actually doesn't matter. Let me tell you, after 15 years, I can tell you that, because I have taken interviews also. It is just a hoax question, just to check whether how good you are. How good you are, whether you are jack of all trades, or you actually know something, in a much better way. So that is the other side of the story, I will tell you. So but you should have a favorite subject, not for answering the interviewer, but that gives a chance to them, to know your thinking, how focused are you, because ultimately they will not give you the same profile even if you are selected. Suppose I say surveying in oil and gas, somebody comes from oil and gas and interviews me, I will tell transportation engineering is my favorite subject. Like I did for one of my companies, in the starting I was very honest about it, transportation engineering. Then the interviewer told me, I'll just share the story, that he just told me, but Afzal, you are aware that there is no transportation engineering here. So then I told him, sir, you just asked me what is my favorite subject. I was being honest about it. So but still we can't ask you transportation engineering questions, because I don't know myself. That's what he told. So most of the time it is just to check what knowledge you have. But yes, it matters. It matters because there are, I think, around 60 subjects, 55 to 60 subjects you study, so they can fit you anywhere, and depending on the
64 hours, including labs.
yes, including labs, so they can fit you anywhere. So whatever you get, you need to build on that. So based on your interest, rarely you get that. They will not give
Hello,
you just based
hello,
on
sir.
your interest. Yeah, sorry.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
is it?
Samim.
Hello,
Yeah,
sir.
Shamim, tell me. Yeah, Shamim, tell me.
Sir, how will Corona will affect placements and job vacancies in current present years,
Yeah,
coming years?
yeah. I'll just talk about the current year right now. This year also our company recruited GETs. GETs and DETs. I mean diplomas and of course BTechs also. But they did only from the local areas. I mean, my company is located right now in Gurgaon, so they go to Gurgaon or maximum Punjab. Punjab Engineering College. But usually from
So
my
you can,
company goes
Afzal,
to
you can
south
recommend
also.
NIT Calicut, no?
Sorry.
You can recommend NIT Calicut for next year placements.
Yeah. I sure can do that. I've done that, in fact. But it's all about the logistics and Corona. They don't want to travel there. They just wanted to take some GTs. They just did it online and they visited and they called them. It was a local affair. So
Okay.
that's why he did. And let me tell you, and I think around 2 3 years back also they went to south. In fact, they went to CET Trivandrum, I think. CET. So they go there, but of course companies nowadays, they try to take local people. I mean local in the way that, if it is in Gurgaon, they will take from Gurgaon or Delhi or maximum Punjab or UP, that kind of. But still that recommendation is always there. As a alumni, you always recommend your company, your college, but the decision is always with the management, Varun.
Sir, as before, there is a discussion about scope of civil engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you said, scope of civil engineering is very high. But when we consider this NITC, what I feel is like depending on the placement rate and all that before years. scope of civil engineering in NITC is very less. So what can we do in this regard to increase that scope?
What you can do is see.
One minute. Chandana,
Yes.
what do you mean by scope of civil engineering in NIT Calicut is less?
Sir, it's not no, not about the scope of civil engineering. It's like very less placements in NITC in
What?
case of
How
civil
many placements
engineering.
were there last year?
It's 43 or 42%, sir.
No,
Okay.
that's a good percentage. Let me tell you that.
Afzal, hang on. When in our year it was 100% placements, Afzal. Almost everybody got placed. Only 2, 3 are left out.
No, no,
When
I'm.
compared to other branches, civil placement is very less. So I just
Oh, sorry. I thought that we are talking about 40% in civil engineering companies. Sorry.
No, no, no,
No,
no.
no, no.
Afzal, we are only 1 or 2 were not placed in our batch. Everybody else got placed, Afzal, if you remember.
Exactly, I remember it correctly. But because that time it was better, no, I mean that was good actually.
No, see, the economy has increased. The company should be better now. I
See,
Yeah.
think PR should have been working more, or they should put 42% is very less. I didn't know that is only 42%.
yeah, it is
Even
quite
we had
less.
the same problem. Like when we graduated, many people didn't have placement from civil engineering, especially, and it was like even the ones that they got placed, most of them are into IT and the companies, not core.
I,
I
IT
think
is fine, but IT is also okay. See, at least somebody should at least get one job before
Get
they
a job,
leave the
yeah.
campus.
Yeah, it was very difficult even at that point of time. I think it was more because of the recession, the after effects of recession in
Yeah.
2013. But even after that, I don't think it has picked up enough.
Okay. We will. So, Chandana, actually, ideally, what your PR should do is you need to reach out to more and more companies, and we need to start from end of third year or end of second year itself, and you should start talking about internships. You should work on getting internships on board, and then through internships we can get into it. I
yeah,
don't
sir.
know.
Internships are also very less. Like I didn't hear any of my senior, like not mostly. Very other branches are getting many internships,
Okay,
placements.
there are
Everything is
again.
good
So
regarding other branches.
I
And
think in some
maximum salary is just 13.4 lakh.
13.4 lakhs for a civil engineer, I think it's nothing less.
Maximum in NIT Calicut, and it's just 42% placements.
42% is
So
less, but 13.2 is okay. Average is start with 5, 7. That's a decent one to start off. And over the period of time, it grows. So I was just talking to observe in our batch, everybody is pretty decently settled, well settled. And then I've counseled a few juniors, 2 batches down or 1 batch down. They're also very well settled. It's just that the opportunity as a campus placement would be a better opportunity when you get placed in the campus. I think you need to have a better PRs or placement representatives, or you need to start working on. See, IT companies you don't have to work for as a PR. They themselves will come recruit and go. Or some other branches they'll come recruit. Electronic companies recruit and go. Actually, a good amount of effort should be put involved in for branches like civil engineering or for physics engineering or those branches. So it is all in the hands of how you select your PR. So I actually was, unanimously pushed forward to become a PR, and then, I almost called up about 1,500 companies every
no,
day. Go
I
to
still remember Varun. You actually put a lot of effort. I was just about to mention that. So because it's very important, to pursue, keep pursuing. Try to follow up regularly, and because it's still easier, Chandana, to get a job in campus than to get outside for anybody. Leave aside civil engineering, because
yes,
right
sir.
now the conditions are quite tough. So if you can pursue any company to try to visit them, try to have a follow up and all those things. So this is what I can say.
And actually, there was a comment, sir, saying last year only L&T constructions came and they didn't recruit anyone.
Okay.
For
Only
civil, and they
L&T
didn't.
they didn't recruit.
I'll just mention. I would like to mention one reason which I have seen. I think it's about the location of the college also. You know, because most of the design companies, like I just mentioned in my earlier maybe half an hour back also, most of the design companies I know are in North India. You know, so they don't want to travel to down south. Because see, I know some
Afzal,
companies. I know some companies in Bangalore, Chennai. They have moved their operations to Gurgaon. So for internship and all, they prefer local candidates only. Lot of
but
times.
Afzal is actually, because thanks to Corona now everything is becoming virtual. So
Mhm.
travel anybody, no, nobody have to travel anymore. We have
Yeah,
good Wi-Fi connection, internet connection. You have even now Geo is giving a very good fast connection. You can have interviews online.
yeah.
So
Obviously,
Chandra,
yeah.
it's all about how do you convince companies to be part of it. For example, our NIT Calicut Civil Engineering is one of the oldest civil engineering in India, in terms of all
After
NIT.
after
So
Roorkee.
we have huge amount of alum base we have. So,
Exactly.
for example, just one
Yes.
interaction with Afzal. Afzal can try out next year whether the company takes a call or not. It's secondary, but Afzal will put his effort to introduce civil engineering students to of NIT Calicut. And NIT
Yeah,
Calicut is a very famous college. It's not like all cream layer is getting into it. So
obviously.
it's the effort of the peers and the college, how much amount of effort they're putting in. It's all about that.
Exactly,
Because I have
exactly.
done it, we are successful. In our batch, we have got maximum amount of placements in the history of NIT Calicut. We have done it. It was satisfactory placements for us, 2005.
Yes.
So,
Okay, sir.
any other questions we have? So, Afzal, what we can do right now is we have almost 1.5 hours. We are now it's about 8:15. So, in next
Mhm.
5-10 minutes, we can wind up if we. So, any other questions, guys? You have? So what you see right now, as I said, I was just in lines of what Chandana had asked or others have asked. See, it's all about in the mind. So Afzal, what I was thinking is that if I keep myself in the shoes of second years and third years,
Mhm.
we feel that less sort of insecure or no clarity for will I get a placement or not? Will I get a good job or not? If I get a job, you know what would be the salary and things like that. So, what is
Exactly.
your view of that? What should be our mindset? So, each one of us, starting with you, Surya can answer, Sai can answer, and I will answer at the end. So, starting
Um,
with you, Afzal, so what should be the mindset of a student that should I water down myself or should I how do I pull myself up and be prepared and be confident and things like that. So, what should be my mindset, Afzal?
okay. I would just like to frame. I would just like to say that even if it sounds quite a training language, but still, every time, every good and there's always a good and bad time. I remember there was a recession in 2008. It was very bad, in oil and gas. I'm telling, I mean, oil and gas and engineering in general. Also, it was very bad. We thought it's over, for us. And in fact, me, I had 3 years of experience. That time, I got busy in preparing for higher studies and all those things. I did a lot of things that time. But somehow, within a year, those things went back. The thing happened in 2014 that time. The same thing happened in oil and gas in 2015 also. Oil and gas is related to all that barrel price with what you hear in news. These Gulf countries, they will fix the oil barrel price. So if it is more, it is good for us. The demand should be more, then the jobs will be more, right? So right now, let me tell you, it's just a mind frame. What happened? In fact, last year the project started opening up, but just after that, in 3 to 4 months, this COVID-19 case, again those projects have closed. So
Afzal,
it
your
takes
voice
time.
is breaking. You can turn off your video.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, maybe due to the net connection.
Much better,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah. So what I was saying, just try to concentrate. I know it is quite difficult, and because it's very clear and very very clear that you are at that stage and at that juncture. I know that because we have been through that. Maybe this is much worse than that, but still. No, try to focus on, even if you want to go for higher studies, keep preparing everything. Try to have options open, keep writing those exams, this GREs, and in the third year you can start writing those exams. Keep preparing. Don't just depend on the placement. Just try talking to your friends. Try to have a network, like Surya just Santosh just told you. I mean, and it's very important. Networking is very important. You can do one more thing. I'll just suggest you can do one more thing at your end. If you have internet, you can search for the companies. You can just figure out what you want to do, whether you want to live in India or you want to live abroad. So try to, if you want to live in India and work in India, then you try to figure out the companies which you have in your own state. Okay, maybe Kerala or some other state or all over India. Try to make a list. Civil engineering, if you want to be in civil engineering, if you want to be in IT industry, it's easy, you can find out. If you want to be part of civil engineering industry, then try to make that list for yourself, and just try to figure out what you can get, and just try to go through the what do you call that, admission requirements. Like somebody asked whether CGPA they check or not, just check those basic requirements, just try to fill in those, because lot of times placements are very easy also. It's just that you don't fit in their minimum conditions. Sometimes the percentage is not met, and all those things. It is very important to attend all the phases of the interview. It is very important. Try to see some videos. How to aptitude is very important. Whichever exam is there, just work on your aptitude. Try to make it better. I'm not saying you don't have any aptitude or anything. It's just that you make it better. Just sharpen it again and again, and try to work and concentrate more on your technical skills. If you want to be part of civil engineering industry in future, then your technical should be very good actually, because it's quite competitive outside. You must work very hard on your technical skills. Try to learn whatever you learn. Try to learn in the best way possible. Try to concentrate on the concepts, because that is very important, because you are tested again and again. Even after 10 years of experience, 15 years of experience, you are tested every day. You are tested technically. So if you are not good there, it is very difficult. It is usually very difficult. So just try to concentrate on the basics of your studies. And I think I'll also try on my behalf, because I am also connected to other groups, who I mean oil and gas groups and other industries groups from my batches and other batches, other friends of mine. So I'll also try to arrange internships. I'm not telling anything. I'm just telling that maybe I'll go and check out. I can do this thing. I can take an action, that I can go and check out the internship opportunities, which my company could offer, or any company for that matter, which I know. So those things I can check out, and the placements and all. Next time I can make sure, because this time they have taken all the graduates, and those also locally. What I can do is I can push them further, because they do that. They go south, down south, maybe in another 3 to 4 years. Every 2 to 3 years they go. They travel. So that I can do. That I can do from my part. And just be hopeful. Don't lose hope. I know this corona, see, I'll tell you, this corona has not only for you, for working people like me, and for Varun, for everybody, it's very bad. It's very bad everywhere. So it's just important, when chips are down, you need to be just focus on whatever you are doing. Just relax, and just try to concentrate on what you're doing. Just studies, just try to put the best effort possible there. This is what I can tell, right now. Because
Thanks.
obviously, like any bad
Yeah.
time, like any bad time, this will also go. This is what I can say. We can hope actually. So this is
So,
what I
Afzal,
can.
so as you said, Surya, 1 minute. So, as you said, a couple of other my batchmates and my juniors and seniors, we are actually running a program called Placement Skillcraft Placement League, wherein we are doing a mock written test, mock GD, and mock interviews, so that opportunity comes for the students. They should not miss it, so they should hit the bull eye whenever the single opportunity comes. So to prepare them all that, so I was we were recommending and creating a placement recruitment recruitment process, simulation process for the second years and third years. So if any of you guys wants to join. And Afzal, also we are also trying to help juniors to have internships.
Yes.
So far last year we had done, through personal contacts, we have done about 10 internships and things like that. So specifically, we can have a team. If you are interested, if your second years and third years are interested, please reach out to us, to me or Afzal or something. We'll form a team, and then we will see how well we will be able to help you to get internship. See, here we are not here in the commercial level. We don't want anything. As a senior, we will reach out. As Afzal was telling, we will reach out to our connects, our batchmates, our seniors or juniors, and see if we can accommodate you in internship. So when you're doing internship, it will help you to improve your clarity in understanding. Okay, this is how this area of civil engineering looks like. Okay, this is also I liked it. Okay, I would love to try something else, so that you the type of jobs which you get into after final year, you'll have better clarity on that. So Afzal and me, and we're all couple of other friends, we can try to help you out specifically for civil engineering in terms of internships. So for that, Chandana, or your class reps or something, you need to form, you need to give us the list who are interested in preferential areas and things like that, the location preferences. We are right now in the month of end of November or starting Jan. So if we can help us to give the list by mid of December or end of December, and during Corona, I don't know how many companies are open to take interns, because they themselves are not allowing employees to come into office. But see, let us see how we can accommodate and see our level best to it. Yeah,
Okay,
Surya,
sir.
go ahead and
Sir.
you can. Surya, you can go
Yeah,
ahead and give your view on this, Surya.
yeah, I had a
You
couple
have
of points to
3
add.
4 minutes.
Yeah, uh, this I know this is like a very uncertain situation, and what you have been going through, because we all went through this previously. And when I was in my bachelor's at NIT Calicut, I didn't really prepare for placement because I was really keen about going for higher education management, and I didn't really participate in campus placements. But then, yeah, because of some constraints, I couldn't go for my higher education even though I had an admission. So I didn't have a job, and I couldn't go for higher education as well. I was stuck, and I was just sitting at home for like almost 6 months. I was very depressed before joining Milap. And yeah, that was the first time I went through something of this sort. And then even after my masters, again, Europe is very competitive, and it's still reeling under recession previously, and it was really hard to find a job, and it took me almost like 2 years to find a job after my masters. And also I also had a job offer that was cancelled because of some visa issues. So you have a lot of constraints, and you never know like how things are going to turn up. So it's always better to have multiple plans. Don't just stick to one thing. I mean, don't just think that you by the time you graduate in your fourth year, you'll have a placement from your campus placement. You should always prepare to network with people outside of the campus. Try to connect with people, learn if they have any opportunities, and try to apply directly as well. And you should also be prepared to go beyond civil engineering, if or any other field that really interests you within civil engineering, just so that you have an opportunity in hand or explore something new. So you should always have multiple plans. Don't just rely on one plan, which is career placement, and have multiple plans and be very proactive about your career.
Yeah, thank you, Surya. So, Sai, you can share your view to the students. How positive, or how what they should do. Should they be in a scared attitude, or should be how they have to improve their hopefulness and confidence and things like that, Sai?
Yeah. Generally, I would like to say only this one. You concentrate on your studies, then daily prepare 1 hour for. If you want to join government services, daily prepare 1 hour for whatever exam you are preparing, and keep continuing. I think hopefully be open minded and everything will be fine. That's all from my side.
Yeah. So I also, if anybody has got any questions, you can reach out to me. My number is 9686789429. And Afzal, you can also share your number in the group.
Yeah, I can do that. Maybe
Yeah.
we can type the Varun. We can type the number in the chat so that people can note it down. It will be much easier.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, one more thing, but I want to
Oh,
I just want to add, Varun. Once we wrap up,
okay. We
that
have a minute of it. We will wind up now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't be I mean, don't have a preference, that I will join this company only, or I will have this much salary, then I will join this company. please don't do that, because this is not the time for doing that. You can always have a job and then choose later, after having the job, rather than not taking it and sitting, because a lot of people
A
do that.
bird,
That's why I'm mentioning it.
a bird in hand and two in the bush is what you were saying, Afzal.
Yeah. Because I've seen, Varun, it happens, because at that age, I know, because I was also thinking that way only, that age people think, no, the salary is very less. How can I survive? No, it's not like that. But that is also because, see, attending an interview with a job in hand is much easier than having no job in hand, if you attend that interview, because you'll be too much of under pressure. So just try to get whatever you can get, and then you can move on from there. That's what I can suggest as a final thing.
The same message I was also told by one of the HRs. He said, you should never look for a job, or you should always look for a job when you have a good job in hand, so that you'll have a confidence, you will have, bargaining capacity and all that. If you don't
Yeah.
have a job and you're looking for a job,
Mm,
whatever they say, you will shake your head and accept it, because you are not in a, a demanding position.
exactly.
Yeah. So, okay. So, I would love to conclude in saying that, see, we all have gone through the same state, but as I told you, that none of our batchmates, or let me put this way, all of our my batchmates, my juniors, whomever I know, are in a very good state, financially or career wise. All of them are in a very good state. So, as Sai was telling, but let's use the opportunity what we have in hand. Let's not waste time. I'm saying that you should not enjoy your engineering days. Of course, this 1 year you are at home only, but fine. But once you go back to the campus, let's you enjoy, all your student life, no doubt about it. But but utilize your time very judicially, very smartly, and apart from, of course, you are very busy with that test, that assignment, this assignment, and all that. But spare your time. I'm not at least X amount of time in a week to work on your technical as well as the areas where you need to improve. So as Sai said, I like the way Sai said he did it, and he's telling the same thing what he has done. Spend X amount of money. He sat down. He has worked on it. He was focused. He was clear what he wants to do. He sat down. He prepared for exams. He cracked it. He is now in on a very respectable position in life because he has worked on it. So results comes when we put effort on it. Or let me put the other way. Let's keep putting our effort sincerely, honestly, intelligently. Results will meant to come. Results will anyway come. You don't have to worry about it. So you guys, please put your effort, and we are there, and see if as a senior, we can help you as much as we can. And then you have our mobile number and contact numbers. You can reach out to us anytime. We are there to support you as much as within our capacity and capability. With that, I would like to appreciate Chandana for putting her effort to coordinate with all of you, and I will also like from Ashwin, who's a final year as a skillcraft a volunteer, putting his effort, coordinating with Chandana, and putting all that, not the and then special thanks to Afzal, Surya, and Sai for sparing their valuable time. They could have sat down and could be watching Netflix good series, but still they have come forward to spend their time and give their support to all of you. Thank you, and have a safe evening and good time ahead.
Yeah.
Good night, all
Thank
of
you
you.
all. Yeah. Thank you all. Bye bye.